These are 13 Roblox Bedwars tricks to outsmart your enemies. So for number 1, we got a trick with Yuzi where if you dash at a wall with a player behind, you can deal damage through the wall. Here's a real match example where I hit this guy giving me the health advantage and I ended up winning the PvP. A situation that can save you is if you're being chased on this map and if you run to this spot and you time it just right, you can hit them straight into the void. For number 2, we got a trick with the bow where if you get a player low and they start to build up and box themselves, what you can do is shoot them through the little gap in the wall. Also, pro tip, make sure it's right between where like the 2 blocks touch. Look, you can't hit them with the sword, but you can with the bow. For number 3, we have take off armor and put it back on when enemies get close. Buy some armor, then take it off, and then get your enemy to chase you. Then quickly put the armor back on, surprising them and completely switching the tables. Here's an in-game example where I took off my armor, and as soon as he came close, put it right back on, and he ran away, but the other guy got completely destroyed. For number 4, we got a useful trick to know using the Jade Kit. If you jump off a platform, normally your enemy would think that you're either dying in the void, TPing away, or Jade clutching. What you have to do is you have to ignore these 3. And you have to use your Jade Hammer to dash back at the enemy and completely catch them off guard and killing them. For number 5, we have a skill. It's called stacking. It's very useful because it throws the enemy off guard and helps you land the first hit on the enemy. It's very useful in winning 1v1s. Here's an in-game clip where I built up and I managed to get the high ground and I sent him straight into the void. Here's another clip where this person rushes me and I built up, got the high ground, and easily sent her right into the void and grabbed her bed. Now you might be wondering, how do I counter people who stack up and start hitting you? So once you notice a player is running away, I want you to back up and think. If they're fully healed and have good HP, that probably means they're going to stack up and hit you. So I want you to pull out a bow and start shooting them. If it's early game, there's not much you can do aside from build up higher and try and land the first hit. In this case, I saw that he was gonna stack up and try and hit me, so that's why I predicted it and I pre-built and I just ended up killing him. For number 6, we have a trick that helps you catch your enemies off guard. It's very useful for when you are low HP and the enemy has better gear than you. In this clip, I'm being destroyed by some guy with iron armor and he's chasing me around and I end up dying. What I could have done instead is I can use a simple trick where you build up to stop the enemy and send them straight into the void. This trick is very good because it's very situational, but when it works great. For number 7, we got the fake TP trick. In this clip, I ended up getting comboed, but still won the PvP. So I decided to build up and I fake TP'd back to base. And the enemy backed off, thinking that I would go back to base. But this gave me the opportunity to break his bed and win the match. This trick is really good and I rarely see people even using it. Just like the last trick, once it works great. For number 8, we got a trick using the Evelyn Kit that will completely make your enemies lost in the sauce. Everyone instantly TPs to the orb. What you should do to catch your enemies off guard is jump in the void and TP back. It works way too well. But make sure you do not do it too much because your enemies will get used to it. Here is my in-game clip of where this is my first encounter versus this guy. And as you can see, I caught him with his pants down and absolutely destroyed him. For number 9, we probably had the best trick in this video. I always see the most new players not being able to break beds, so this is for you. There are really only 2 ways to break beds. One is the early game method and one is the end game method. For the early game method, what you have to do is jump down, place a block, then cover yourself as best as you can. From there, go into third person mode and break the bed. Right after that, all you have to do is try building up as best as you can. Here I messed up, but I was able to jump up and send him straight into the void. For the end game method, what you have to do is teleport onto their bed and try and stuff yourself inside their bed defense. And make sure you use stone bricks or else they will break through and kill you. Here I was using wool, but it's okay because I was able to get their bed in the end. An easy way to practice this is to go into a custom game and build a bed defense 3 to 4 layers with different blocks. Then practice placing blocks in this format. Keep doing this and you'll become a great Bedbreaker in no time. Number 10, this trick is well known yet not used a lot. This trick is using the outer part of the island to your advantage. Right here, you have to use the same trick as you would when breaking a bed, except this time you're going to wait for the enemy to break the block above you, and then you're going to catch them off guard and send them straight into the void. In this solo game, I killed this girl and was low HP, so I just had to jump down onto the block and cave myself in. I faked the bed break, and once the girl broke the block at the top, I jumped up and knocked her in the void. Even though I was low HP, this trick is very good to get you out of situations you're supposed to lose, but you end up winning. For number 11, we got a tip for Lasso Kit, where if you lasso the enemy and quickly build up, you should be able to send them straight into the void without even having to touch them. Here are some in-game clips where I completely destroyed people even if they had better armor than me. And as you guys can see, this trick works absolutely well. Even if the enemy has way better armor than you, you're able to kill them in a breeze. Like right here, the enemy had emerald armor and I had diamond armor, but I was still able to send them straight into the void because of this trick. For number 12, we have the ultimate telepro trick, where once the enemy pulls out their blocks to start bridging, you can TP behind them and show them who's boss and send them straight into the void. Number 13, we have a PvP trick. I always see noobs spamming their jump button like it's a contest, but instead what you should do is try to avoid jumping in general. So here's a side-by-side comparison of me jumping and fighting and me not jumping. Here I end up dying, but in the next clip you'll see when I avoid jumping and I try and track the enemy as best as I can, it makes the fight a lot easier, and in the end I win the PvP. Last but not least, we have one of the best tricks, and it is to hit that subscribe button. And with that, peace.